that creates the new bottom. So the question is, are we getting bottom confirmation right here? Now, some other indicators that we can look at, we can take a look at the MACD, and then we can take a look at the RSI to give us an idea. So what I noticed on the daily is we did have a bearish cross that led to this dump, and then we're starting to see a bottom. Now we have the 12 and 26, and the one thing that I noticed about the 12 is it's starting to curl up. Same with the 26, and then you see these red candles. We have a larger candle in the middle, and then we're starting to produce a shorter one, and then we'll probably start to produce a couple shorter ones coming in the future. Now on the RSI, we did see a nice little break in trend. The question is, if we bounce up, this would be called a hidden bullish divergence. So what this is telling me is this could potentially be a bottom, and we bottomed out at about, I would say that's about 2.3 million. I was calling for 4, so I think I was a little bit too ambitious on the $4 million bottom call. So let me switch over to the 4 hourly real quick and just double check. So the 4 hourly, yes, we're definitely seeing a bounce in the RSI, and we definitely did hit a cross in the bullish divergence. So yeah, we are coming very close to the bottom of the E chart. And in my opinion, this would be a good level to start dollar cost averaging in. Now, the other thing I just want to say, based off of that, I just want to point out some key levels of resistance. So we'll probably have some resistance right around $5.5 million market cap. And then I'll probably say right around $6.7 million market cap. So when we start bouncing up there, that's when we're going to see a lot of sideways action. And if we can get past that level, then we can start going up and testing all-time highs. So based on my analysis, we're very close to a bottom. If it not already happened, the indicators are coming in. And this would be a great time to start dollar cost averaging in, not financial advice. Any questions, comments from the rest of the panel?
Yee.
There you go.
I'm down with it.
Hey, by the way, on Telegram, in you guys' Telegram chat, when you guys do a voice chat, that shit gets wild when everybody's doing all their yees all at once.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Dude, I heard that. Yeah. I got in there for one of them. That was hilarious. I was like, holy shit. It's like a jungle of yees.
Yes, sir. Now,
good energy.
Here's the other thing I also want to point out. I know I like to talk trash about Pepe. It's like a love-hate relationship, but we might start getting very close to a potential correlation between Yi and Pepe, since a lot of big Pepe whales are starting coming in and speculating on something like Yi, since it's such a great narrative. So the thing to really pay attention to with the Yi chart that I want to point out to every single person here, and keep in mind, you're not going to see this on any other YouTube channel or Twitter space or Twitter live stream. If you guys come in here and you look at the Pepe chart, you see this nice, beautiful rounded bottom, bounce up, and then trading in some resistance, which I'm going to point out right here. There is definitely some resistance that came from earlier of this year, so back in January. So we're basically testing out this potential resistance flip into support. And if you look over here at the Yi chart, you're starting to see that same bottom formation that we're seeing on the Pepe formation. So my prediction, and this is a prediction, I'm okay with being wrong, but if we start to see Pepe go and start testing, all-time highs or getting up here and test a local high, I think Yi's going to follow, and I think Yi's going to be one of these plays that really follows Pepe closer, but I think it's going to have a higher multiple, and that's why I love Yi so much. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely. I like that.
So Yi's a great chart to, Pepe is a great chart to pay attention to in regards to Yi, but I still think Yi's going to smash Pepe, just to make that clear. So
love it. Chris, you gotta at least go back to the beginning and talk about how you found Yi, because it was pretty epic, this call.
Yeah.
And by the way, you will find calls like this. Chris has his own Telegram channel. I need you to get in it. We'll drop that link as we proceed through here. And also that was dropped in the House of Warlords, which is our alpha group that we are all in. House of Warlords has its own coin that is out. It is meme coin meets printer. And it is starting to do some wild things. That's the How coin on Pulse Chain. I had to do that plug. Apologize. But tell us about the beginning, because it was an absolute epic call that you had.
Absolutely. And, just taking a look at the chart, when I was looking at this chart and I first saw it, the reason why I thought it was like a Cabal coin was because we saw this pop, sell off, pop, sell off, pop, sell off, pop, sell off. And it was probably, the chart was looking like this when I found it, just so you guys got some context. So when I saw this, I was like, all right, there might be a big player messing around with the chart. And I'm not saying it's not a Cabal coin, but this is like my thinking at the time. I just want to make that clear. So when I was looking at this, I was like, all right. So the chart looks really good. And I sent it over to my homie Goo guy. I said, yo, check this chart out, bro. This is crazy. And he's like, yeah, man, that's a pretty good looking chart. Then I did some research and I realized that this was like an old narrative that dated back way before Pepe. You had Yi, Pepe, and then the Dogecoin. And I was just like, oh, okay. Or well, Cabuso, or I don't know. I don't remember the dog's name, but it's like the little dog that blew up. So when I saw this and I saw how like Dogecoin did really well, and then Pepe did really well, and then now Yi, one of the oldest narratives, coming along at a sub 500K market cap, I was like, all right, this is something we need to look at. So I was monitoring the chart and I was looking at it and I was seeing these pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps. And then finally I was like, okay, so this looks a lot like the Kokora chart, which is another big dog coin that was on that's on Ethereum, and it's like a Shiba Inu derivative. So right when I saw that, I compared the charts together. I was like, all right, I think this thing's going to pop. I think this is a great narrative. It's got a story. The chart looks beautiful. I don't know if there's anything going on with market manipulation. There isn't any manipulation, but I'm just saying, like, I was speculating at the time. And then next thing you know, it starts to pop. And then we got the full story that this was a natural CTO and a big blow up. So that's how I came across it. And that's when I started relaying it across to everybody in the community.
Yeah, now that you mentioned Kokoro, we like some of our top whales are Kokoro holders. We got very good relationship with them. And we donated also to the Japanese dog shelter, and he's actually number one now in the wallet in Chipawan, Japanese dog shelter.
Yeah, and the funny part about Kokoro is I made curved it at about 100K, and I still think about it to this day. So I feel like that's one of those things where I just look at. So there's two projects I made curve that I still think about this today. The first one was Caspa. Went back when it blew up like a couple of years ago. I saw that really early, and I could have had like a 500X. And then the second one was Kokora, because I knew it was a great narrative. I just didn't know why I didn't pull a narrative. I didn't pull the trigger. And then when I saw Yi, I was like, yo, I ain't mid curving this. I don't care if I lose money on this. I am going in on this. But
yeah, so Kokoro's the one that got away, and that chart has been imprinted in your head. You saw it again. You're like, Abe.
Yeah.
This is it.
Like I didn't care if I lose friends on it if it were to go zero. I was going to ape it no matter what. but just
that's how legends are born. Not by treading lightly, by fucking going hard. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. So if you guys just look at the chart, Kokoro here is on the left, and then this is Yi on the right. I mean, if you see it, it has very similar chart dynamics. And based off of that, that told me everything I needed to know that, whether there's a big player accumulating this or there's like a massive community behind it, when you see these little waves in the beginning following a trend line, that means you're getting a mass accumulation, you're getting the Jeets cleared out, and then you get a deviation where you get that little breakdown right here. You see with Kokoro, like a breakdown from that trend line. Same thing with Yi, a little breakdown, and then soon after that, you get a pop. So Kokoro gets a nice, beautiful pop after that deviation, and then Yi gets an even more insane pop after that deviation, and that's what really sold me on this narrative.
Brilliant.
Wow. They're almost identical.
Yeah. See, and
It's just
and
crazy
based.
how they
Go
ride
ahead.
together.
Sorry.
No, it's just really interesting how they ride together like that. And then, but Yi taking that big jump, I mean, that's significant.
Yeah, absolutely. And what this tells me, and based on the context that our boy Sniper came in with, Yi's a more of a natural narrative. I do think Kokoro is a lot more. You got bigger players really accumulating the supply, and I'm okay with that approach. But with Yi, this one's a lot more natural, and the fact that you got centralized exchanges actually coming in and buying the token and all that stuff, what that tells me is that you got the community really pushing this out, and the centralized exchanges want a little bit of a piece of it just for like leverage trading and volume and all that jazz. So
yeah.
That's
yeah,
legit.
man.
Sounds good.
It was-
Today we had a little bit of green as well, which is welcome after almost, what was it, 7 days of red.
Yeah, man. I mean, look
Yeah.
at. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just saying that I'm quite happy today to see a little bit of green, and I spend a lot of time on the Telegram group, and when there is a bad week, it goes a little bit quiet from previous experience. But to be fair, the Telegram is still quite active, which is quite, we were like a 3 million flow and no volume almost, and people are still there, pushing memes, pushing Twitters. It's quite a nice thing to see, and it kind of encourages you to keep going hard at it, really.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just looking at the chart and looking at where we're at in the market, what's so special about Yi is it's now positioned on Ethereum where you're seeing meme coins pop off, and then people are coming back to Ethereum because they're sick of Solana, they're sick of like Hyperliquid and all these other sketchy chains. And they're just like, yo, we're gonna come back to the home base, and we're seeing like other meme coins like Gas Pass blow up, whole list of them. And now Yi's positioned where it had a multi-year it's been out for a couple years, came back, had a beautiful pop. It's on everybody's radar, and in my opinion, once we see meme coin season come in, this is going to be a big play. Any thoughts from the panel on this?
100% agree. 100% agree. And the way it sat idle for the period of time which you're referring to, Chris, I agree. And then when it popped, eyebrows started popping with it. It's on the radar now, and I know that it's getting a lot of support from this group and a lot of our audience. They're aware of it, and the call that Chris made back in the day was, it was truly epic. It was like one of those things that I know that he was on it, and he was probably sitting on it for a little bit going, boy, I don't know if I should tell anybody about this or not. But then, eventually the juice spilled over, and, a lot of people jumped right in, and it was for good reason. And now the way the chart's performing, yeah, I really do believe what Chris is getting at, that it's got the traction. It's getting the eyeballs, and I can see it turning on, and it'll be a fun chase. It'll be a great one to watch.
Yeah, man. And go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Ted, I think you said you had to leave on the private chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce for a little bit, but I'll try and get back here. Got something just popped up in the house I got to take care of real quick.
No worries. We're gonna keep kind of a short stream. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. TSP Sniper is on literally the other side of the world right now.
Yeah.
So out of respect to him, we're gonna keep it from being a normal, really, really crazy stream.
Well, it's a pleasure being part of it. And
nice to meet you, Ted. Take care. Speak soon.
Let's feed up. I got to bounce.
Yeah, bye.
I'm in.
Bye-bye.
See you back if you come back.
And just another thing I'm noticing, I'm looking at the weekly chart. Weekly is looking pretty good. So we had that typically what I see with meme coins, you usually get that 85% dump after its initial pop, and we're sitting at about 83.74%. Question is, for this week, if we can close out at least above, I would say 4.2 million, that'll put us in a doji, which could be another great indicator of reversal. And then the following week, if we get another green candle, that's at least above, I'll probably say 6.5 million. That'll create a Morningstar trading pattern on the weekly, and that'll be our best indicator that this thing bottomed out. So I'm letting you guys know, if you're looking at a yield chart, you want to get a position, all that good stuff. These are the things that I look for on these meme coins, and I'm just translating that to you guys so you can start looking for them as well.
And let me throw this out there. He's not saying this is what's going to happen. This is saying this is what he's watching to happen to indicate what then is going to happen afterwards. And I would pay a lot of attention to this TA that he does, because he gets this right way more often than not. And some of these calls have been epic. So epic that I'm bringing back the word epic. I know it was retired years ago, but it has to be brought back in certain circumstances. And Chris is one of these epic dudes. I can't ever point in the right fucking direction.
Yeah, you do.
That's
Yeah.
epic. I'll still never remember that. It's as simple as it's just the opposite way you want to point. Nope. That still nope.
Yeah. Well, hey man, I do appreciate
you're
you,
epic,
man.
and your calls are epic. So that's all I'm saying. So make sure that you follow Chris. And what I like to say is set your notifications. That is a very underused feature, because the bull run comes at you fast and furious. And the difference between seeing his call the hour he puts it out, as opposed to the algorithm showing it to you a day later, can be a huge fucking difference between being early and then being someone who's going to decide to mid curve it later on.
Yeah, man. And guys, you guys show my boy the most support. He is probably the #1 shiller in all of crypto. Like, this guy, like, I'll go on my Twitter, I'll see him put out like 12 tweets, and all of them got like 1,000 views and engagement. I'm just like, holy smokes. Like, this dude knows how to shill. So he's in the Yi army. He's going to continue to shill this project. And bro, he's one of those troops that's going to get the job done. And the last thing I just want to say about Yi, I know all you guys are looking at this thing. You're like, oh, it's just a $3 million market cap. It's too high. Blah, 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 blah. This project could potentially be $1 billion project. And from a couple million to $1 billion, that could be anywhere from 100x to at most 1,000x. And with this type of market with the dilution, you got to really bet on really great narratives and projects that can get up past 1 million and hold that level for a very long time. Those are the ones that are going to compete for billions. So I'm just telling you right now, Yi's at a good discount, but it's not going to be there for very long. So
Very well said.
I agree. Yeah,
Very well said.
that's the goal. 1 billion minimum.
I mean, look, and you know what? Something someone's told me in the past that always sticks with me. And they told me this in between, sort of in between the last cycle pop and maybe this cycle. And it's basically, watch what these market caps are of the big ones, sort of every cycle. Each cycle, it starts getting more and more gargantuan, like in terms of, go back to some of the first cycles. How many coins had $1 billion market cap? Start fast forwarding. How many coins get $1 billion market cap? He's like, pretty soon, $1 billion market caps are going to be the norm in some of these bull runs. It's going to be amazing how many things hit even, half that mark. What if Yi hits 600 million? And you're talking about, I'm too early at 3 million. I'm just saying, we have no idea what's going to happen, but we're all here for this. And look, this bull run, if it acts like all the rest of them, the altcoin season runs, it's fast and furious, and before you know it, you missed it. So don't be a top blaster, don't be a mid curver. Get in early and find the groups that have the alpha. Chaos Chris has his own. Don't just fucking ignore my hands. I'm never pointing again. He has one of the best alpha groups there is. House of Warlords is one of the best alpha groups there is. And if you want education on how to do these things, I want you to hop into the Council of LP, because we teach people everything there is to know about how to exit projects, how to enter projects, how to DCA, how to do it the most responsible way. So t.me/House of Warlords for that one right there. And then t.me/Council of LP for the other one. Those are our two main Telegram groups. Go in there, learn you something, get you some alpha, and get positioned for this fucking bull run and this altcoin season run before it really kicks off. You know, get your 10, 20 X's, not a half a X and then jeeting out. Or, God forbid, you get in at the absolute top and miss the whole cycle. So please, 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 please follow Chris, set the notifications, get in the Yi Telegram, feel that energy. Let's fucking go. There are 471 people watching right now, midday on a Sunday. That is outstanding. Yee, fucking yee. There you go. Appreciate you all for being here. Chris, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the King Alpha Keller, sir. And like I said, we're not going to have a crazy, crazy last stream, but for some last thoughts, and while I stream through this chat one more time, Chris, what do you have for us today?
Yes, sir. And hey, guys, please do me a favor. Follow the Mo, one of the most humble guys I've ever met. Big chiller, always trying to do work to put you guys in the best position you can in this altcoin market. And also, please follow my boy TSP Sniper. He's the real MVP because he was pushing this stuff and nobody was talking about it. He positioned well to create this as CTO, and he has done so much great work. And when this thing hits $1 billion market cap, it's going to be one of the stories you watch on Netflix. I want to make that crystal clear. So shout out to my boy over here. Give him some support. If he starts tweeting, guys, shill, retweet his stuff. Follow the Yi account. Shill your bags, because remember, this is a CTO. This is all about community. And the last thoughts I just want to say, Yi is probably one of the best calls we've done on live stream. One of the best that we physically did on live stream. The higher the market cap goes, the more we're going to double down on this play. So enjoy this time when we're running around and just playing around, because when Yi hits, I would probably say like a 50 mil or 100 mil market cap, bro. You might be seeing Yi live streams like every other day, because we're shilling this thing because we have so much conviction. So enjoy this period of time when we're just being degens, because that's going to change very, very soon, this market. And last but not least, if you like meme coins, if you like fast money, if you like TA and you're slightly autistic, follow me at TheVerse369. I'll see you guys in the next one.
The greatest exit ever. TSP Sniper, I appreciate you for being here, sir. I know it was very hard to schedule with all of us in completely different time zones, but I appreciate you for being here.
That's right. Thanks for the invite. It was nice to talk to you guys. Thank you.
Any last words for you? As I like to say, you can give a shout out to your family. You can talk some shit about your neighbor. Whatever you want to do, anything you want to say, just say goodbye. Whatever you want.
Nah, not really. Just say that we're gonna be there every day, every week for the next, I don't know how many months. So happy to talk to you anytime you need.
All right, man. You're killing it. You're welcome to come back on anytime you want. You are very active in the Telegram. Like, yes. You guys are killing it with those spaces. Not spaces, but with the voice
VCs.
chat. Yeah. You're killing it. So I look forward to seeing more. Like I said, you're welcome back on here.
Yes.
This is going to be just the beginning. Yi to a Billy.
Yes,
let's fucking go and get in the Council of LP, get in the House of Warlords, and learn about the HOW token, because we have a meme coin that we have merged into a printer token that has a ridiculous potential. And to find out about it, you're going to have to go into that Telegram group. T.me/House of Warlords, T.me/Council of LP to get you some education. And as Chris says, follow everyone. Set those notifications. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Yee! Until next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.